That crap is still on here. Welcome to another edition of the JJSports podcast. Joining you today, I'm your co-host, Joey.
And I'm Josh.
And we're starting today, as we always do, with the sport of basketball. And Josh, not that much to talk about in terms of free agency and draft, except we had the draft lottery last week. I don't know if you caught it, but well, I want to pull it out because it's not going to. So yeah, I'm just gonna let me share screen. Detroit won. And I thought, I'm not saying it wasn't possible they won. I just thought, I don't know, I thought they'd get second. So then I thought to myself, oh, poor Cade Cunningham. So yeah, your thoughts on these teams in the way they are. I mean, two teams got 2 first-round picks, Golden State and I'm trying to remember the other one, and Orlando, right? Chicago would have kept their pick if it was top 4 protected. That didn't happen, and I think the same thing was with Golden State's pick if it was a top 5. But yeah, so any thoughts on the current order, or you just don't care because the Knicks aren't in it this time?
Well, I don't care because the Knicks don't have a top 10 pick, I should say, which is not something we're used to seeing, at least over the last 7 years. But we do know they have 2 first-rounders this year still. Well, granted, they're going to be a little later.
I say 19 and 21 spot.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's not terrible. That's it's kind of what the Rangers had this past year in the 2020 draft when they traded. I mean, they had first overall, but I guess not last year. Sorry, 2 years ago when they got to draft Miller and Krabsov, I think it was a bit higher than 19 and 21, but around 22 and just around number 10 to 15. That's granted around the same. We'll see. Basketball's very different, but just to say, it's not like New York sports fans are very unfamiliar to seeing draft picks late. Maybe not for the Knicks.
Yeah, speaking of the Knicks, Josh, we're not gonna get into it too much yet because free agency hasn't started. But what would you like the Knicks to do between those options of the draft? Would you like them either to A, stick with the picks where they are, B, trade up, to get a better player, or 3, use these picks as part of a package to acquire a premier player, maybe a Damian Lillard? I don't know. There's been a lot of talks of that.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you said this, I knew where you were going with it.
I gotta say it. So
look, you gotta say it. I'll give you I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It's not totally unrealistic. It's a big talk. It's a big topic right now. How realistic do I think it is? Not very likely. But I mean, hey, if they're really going to try to pursue it, I mean, if any team could do it, it would be the Knicks. They have the most cap space right now. They have the most money available to go out and be able to pay someone. And at the same time, we know they're loaded with draft picks. I mean, you see it, 2 first-rounders here. They're going to have, I believe, 2 first-rounders next year, too, in some other kind of trade. They had 2 first-rounders this past year with Toppin and Quickly. So, I mean, we know that they're loaded in terms of, their picks. The question is, how much are they willing to really give up? And the question is also, I'd be very shocked. I'd be beyond shocked if Portland did not want a player back, that has a lot of potential to grow. A guy like RJ Barrett or Emmanuel Quickly, for example, in a trade for a guy like Damian Lillard. And Barrett had a fantastic sophomore season. Quickly had an amazing rookie season. Now, granted, he wasn't great in the playoffs, but none of the Knicks were really that great in the playoffs. They only played 5 games, and they were kind of out of their element. The second the ball dropped, the ball was tipped off for game 3. And other than that, I mean, there's just it's an interesting team to watch out right now. Obviously, Randall's going to be there a little bit longer. And, I don't know if they're necessarily interested in Toppin because, he has a lot of potential in his athleticism, but he's not, he wasn't amazing as, just a fundamentally skilled basketball player. So I don't know how far the Knicks are willing to go in terms of giving up pieces they currently have playing for them in terms of actual picks. That might be more the route they want to go down, other than giving up, their young core right now that they're trying to build around. But I wouldn't be opposed to getting Damian Lillard. Let's just say that.
I said it's a part of a package, not just the 2 picks. But yeah, but what about the option? Would you stick where they are, or would you trade up closer?
I think that sticking where they are right now isn't a terrible idea. I mean, just to throw something in, I mean, just out of curiosity, where does Portland pick this year? Because I know it's later. They beat, they made it to the second round.
you forget they traded
Oh, they
pick
did
to
trade it.
Houston for
They traded.
I think Robert Covington or something.
Yeah, I think they did.
I
No,
think that's
Covington started the year. Oh, but previous year. Okay, so I mean, yeah, this wouldn't be such a terrible time for them to do it. I mean, if they were to trade one of these picks, that would give them a first rounder this year. I don't know, but whatever. We're not, as you said, we're not getting into it. But if any one of those three options were the most realistic, I would say, I don't know. I would assume they'd probably go down the third option just because they have all those picks that they could use. And I guess if you want to throw in one really young player, if you're getting a premier player, obviously not for like
Who doesn't have any feeling like he wants to leave. Exactly.
right.
So,
Yeah, I mean, there's that too. But I mean,
like this is not like in hockey, like the whole Eichel thing where it just seems like
right. Well, look, I feel like it's a little hard though, much harder. Not a little. I feel like it's much harder now to use the excuse, oh, it's the Knicks, they're a dumpster fire. I mean, they were projected to go nowhere in this league, and they just made the fourth seed. Now, granted, I know it was a short stint in the playoffs. I mean, the Hawks, first of all, were like the third hottest team coming into the playoffs. They were 27 and 11 in their last 38 games. They're in the conference finals right now, and we'll get into that. But just to show it wasn't like a fluke, like they beat the Knicks because they were hot and then they got swept in the second round. Like we already talked about that. They already, they beat the number one seed too. It's not like it was a fluke that 5 just happened to beat 4. Like this is a pretty legit team playing in the playoffs right now.
No, it's a good team. It's a good team.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about it. Don't worry.
We'll talk about it. But I'm just saying though, in terms of people who like crapped on the Knicks and say, like, I feel like it's hard to use that excuse though now that they're a dumpster fire. Like Katie and Kyrie, okay, that's one thing. Like the Nets seem to have more promise with their young players at the time. They had Jared Allen and they had Karis LeVert before both of them got traded over to the Pacers and and the Cavaliers and wherever they ended up going in the James Harden trade. And obviously, I mean, like, Madison Square Garden now, I think combined with the fact that the Knicks are kind of starting to climb out of that pit at the bottom of the NBA is starting to look more appealing. I mean, I don't think Damian Lillard wants to leave Portland. He's made his entire career there. And granted, he's never brought them a championship. He's been close. He went to the conference finals back in the 2019 playoffs. And I know they got swept, but that was a close series. They had a 15-point lead in every game after game 1, all in the second half. And they blew every single one of them. It's a team that's had promise. They just don't really have that much experience.
I think it's
especially when you go up against a juggernaut and an experienced team and the Warriors with Curry and Thompson.
Yeah, that was like game against the super team. Like,
yeah, like
they weren't winning. They weren't gonna win. Like it just wasn't happening.
They played hard against the Nuggets this past year. Now
they always play great against the Nuggets.
They always play well.
Every time in the playoffs,
Nuggets got their revenge this year.
Fantastic.
It just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But I will say that I'd be more optimistic about it now than as opposed to when Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving were free agents. Let's just say that. Even though there's going to be a lot more involved giving up here and getting one less player, I'm a little more confident in this than I was before when, those other two were free agents. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, just
unless you want to share, like, what else?
No, just really quickly, just like I just want to say that, like, I'd be fine with like staying where we are because I don't think leave.
If we're not,
and I think trading up, you don't have to because I like we're gonna do a mock draft. Eventually.
Look, if we're not making moves, like we're not making trades and acquisitions, like for other players specifically, I'm not trading up in picks. That's just.
No, I'm saying but I'm saying is like you'd rather have like if you're trading for an experienced guy, like you just are because you don't want the whole problem when we had traded Melo, we had to give up so much. So like you want to go with this young core, so you might as well just build on that, and having 19 and 21 gives you a lot more leeway. Not many people are really leapfrogging over you for picks. Except Atlanta, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, I just think there are a lot of good prospects. We'll do a mock draft in a few weeks because the draft's in a month. So yeah, I'm excited for that. And I'm trying to think for a sec. No, that's it. That's it in the NBA, like just mock draft. But in other news, we still got the playoffs to talk about, Josh. So let's get into this right now. Let's give me a second. Bracket playoff. Right. Okay. So I'm trying to remember what the last matchups we had that were confirmed. Was it just the Final Four? It was just the Final Four, right? Or am I making that up?
Nope, it was
It was the Elite Eight.
Suns, I think, had advanced, but not the.
Not everyone else. It was the eight. It was the eight. That's what it was. Okay. So which we want to talk about first? We already talked about the Suns because that was already over quick.
Yeah.
No, we did
Actually,
talk about. No, we talked about Brooklyn.
Yeah, we did.
I think we talked about Utah. I don't know if we talked about Atlanta.
Had to have talked about it. No. Since the last episode, we had to have talked about everyone. So
okay, so we did. So yeah, okay. So I'm gonna start with Clippers Phoenix because that's interesting. We lost Chris Paul and Kawhi, and I thought to myself, well, this is gonna get really strange. Devin Booker went off. I think that first game already happened. We did. I think he scored. We did. We talked about. But then they get like and then I'm trying to remember what happened in game 2. Did the Clippers win? I think.
No, that was the play where Ayton had the.
Oh no! Now I remember. We did talk about this. This is the crazy last-minute lob to the basket, the dunk.
It was the day we did it. That's when it was.
Right. That's what happened. The day after
our episode.
That's right. Okay, good. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. But then all of a sudden, the Clippers come back in game 3. You know, it was a very low scoring game if I remember. I believe. Let me just check. I think it was like in the 80s for both teams. Game 3. Oh, sorry, that's game 4. That's my mistake. Sorry. Game 3 was very high scoring, and Paul George he got a lot of crap last year. You know, everyone called him playoff P and stuff, but in game 3 he had 27 and 8 and 15. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know, and on the Suns, nothing was going well for many teams. Most teams were like at 15. Even Chris Paul. See, this was the thing that really scared me because I thought to myself, once Chris Paul comes back, he was back at this point, that it was gonna be a sure thing that they could just close it out. But there's something about these Clippers, man. When they're down 0-2, they just somehow just like get like pressured and they actually start winning. Although
I mean, ever since going down
first round when they lost at home 2 in a row, they were down 0-2, and then they came back. And the next round they're down 0-2, and then they came back, and now they're down 0-2 this one, and they came back in game 3. They lost in game 4, which was a weird low scoring game, like low scoring for NBA standards, 84-80. It was a very close game. There wasn't that much scoring on either side. Like Paul George had 23, so that's not bad. Booker had 25, so that's pretty good. But yeah, it was a very low scoring game, so very tight one. And then the Clippers just blew him out of the water in game 5. Oh my God, Paul George went off. He had 41 points, Josh. 41 points, 6 assists, 13 rebounds. Okay, Josh, 41 points. The next leading scorer was like half of that. Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson had 22. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. No one on the Suns eclipsed 30 except for Devin Booker. Like, that's crazy, man. What do you think about that? Do you think playoff P, the discussion's over, or do you think he still deserves that title? You know, pandemic P or all the crap Paul George. Like, what do you think about
I think he's put the crap behind him. I mean, he's doing this without Kawhi Leonard, don't forget.
That's the craziest part. There's no Kawhi, and they're winning, and they've won the 2 of the last 3 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think Paul deserves all this crap. I mean, even with Kawhi, he's performed. They wouldn't be in the conference finals if he didn't, because Kawhi is not single-handedly carrying this team. He's been a huge performer, but he's been a huge performer on every team. Sure. And Phoenix has been playing like a super team. I know that you wouldn't think that. I mean, you think Chris Paul, he's in like his 16th NBA season, so he's clearly not in his prime anymore. But
Chris Paul's still great. You know.
I mean, he's still Chris Paul. He's a guaranteed Hall of Famer, and
literally the day he retires, like Hall of Fame.
There was no, I mean, like he was the best free throw shooter in the NBA, like 97-point-something%. I mean, Devin Booker, I mean, he's come alive. Cam Johnson, rookie, phenomenal. The guy's like 6'8", and he knocks down threes without a problem. Mikal Bridges has been fired. Cameron Payne, in the game where Chris Paul did not play, was absolutely magical. And other than that, I mean, DeAndre Ayton, we all know about that ridiculous slam in the end of game 2, which closed it out. He's been huge defensively. as for LA, tough to break it down because obviously no Kawhi, and that's a huge defensive and offensive wound to the team. But give credit, Batum's been doing well as a bigger role on this team because they don't want to go with Zubac. He's been getting into a little bit more of a foul trouble, but he's played well. I think the most underrated or the most overlooked player in this series for LA, though, is Reggie Jackson.
I knew you were
Because
gonna bring him up. I knew it. Oh man.
look, like we talked about how obviously we wouldn't trust him of all people to knock off, if it got when we predicted it would be like LA, Utah, that obviously we'd rather go with like Donovan Mitchell manning the point, even though he's more of a shooting guard than Reggie Jackson. But I mean, Reggie Jackson has been lights out in this round in particular. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited to see what he does in game number 6, which is gonna be tonight. And I really don't know what to expect. I mean, like, I'm hoping LA could win this. I mean, I predicted them from my original bracket, and I'm not even going to say anymore. You guys know the drill, what I'm doing with this. But, I'm not even going to bother saying it. Like, I predicted LA to go to the finals and win against the 76ers. Clearly, that's not going to happen because the 76ers are out. But LA still has a chance, and I know it's not easy to come back from 3-1 especially in the conference finals, and especially against the top seed. But I mean, it's been done before. If you look at it, the Thunder and Warriors, I know the Warriors weren't I know the Warriors were the top seed, and they weren't the ones who had to, hold the lead. They were the ones who had to come back. A little different there, but I mean, you were still playing against Westbrook and Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka. Anyway, here you got Kawhi, who's not even playing, so take him out of the picture. But on paper, it would be Kawhi and George against Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and the insane supporting staff around them, which is just that. I think that's the best, like that's the most overlooked thing about the Suns. Everyone thinks Chris Paul and Devin Booker carry this team on the score chart, and maybe like Mikal Bridges every here and there will like chuck up a 3 and drop like 30 in a game. I think everyone's forgetting about the other role players they have on this team, other than DeAndre Ayton defensively. But Johnson's an overlooked player, Payne's an overlooked player, Sharge is an overlooked player. And where would we be if we didn't give credit to Jay Crowder, by the way, who went to the finals last year, and he came up on the losing side of things. But his defense has been ridiculous. He's averaging like 3 blocks a game in the playoffs, and he's still putting up 18 to 20 points a game. He could shoot the 3 ball well. And when DeAndre Ayton's not playing defense well in the paint, or whenever he's getting beaten, Crowder is the guy who comes in and saves the day every single time. So, I mean, I can't go against Phoenix winning just because they have the 3-2 lead. And one way or another, they are going to play another home game. The question is going to be whether or not it's going to be in this round. So
yeah, I want to say something. So I don't know if you remember, the executive of the year was James Jones, who I don't even know if you know who that is, but that dude is the GM for the Suns.
Yeah, we talked about.
I'm not trying to. Right, I'm not trying to take anything away from that because he did a great job, obviously. But a lot of his stuff was some of it was pretty lucky, if we're being honest. Getting Chris Paul, helps a lot. Because like this team was already hot, but still getting Chris Paul, getting the first overall draft pick, and Aiden, who was a no-brainer at the time. Obviously, if you redraft, people would probably take Luka, maybe even Trae first overall. But no offense to Aiden, I'm just saying. But yeah, like that, and Devin Booker, those were all hits. But like, I don't know if you remember, like I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago. I'm just like, I named all these players you've never heard of before, and those were all the Suns' first-round picks outside of Devin Booker. So. Like that, I don't even think I included this year's Jalen Smith. Like he's done nothing. He played 1 minute, 0 across the board. So I'm not trying to take anything away from James Jones, but it's just like weird that like the dude never hits on draft picks except for like I'm not counting Aiden because that's the first overall, except for Booker and I guess Cameron Johnson. But yeah, it's just funny. He I guess he did a good job. For what it's worth. I guess he saved himself from the hot seat this year. So good for him. But how would you like to see? How do you see this faring out? They have a 3-2 lead. They could clinch it. I'm trying to see. Tonight. They clinch it tonight, and it's going to be in LA though. It's going to be in LA. So But yeah,
I still have to pick the Suns for where they are right now. But hey, I mean, I want my bracket to be as closely, correct as possible. So, obviously, I'm not changing. I can't change that other bracket, but for where I think things are at right now, maybe LA takes Game 6. I mean, they've won 2 of the last 3 without Kawhi, and overall, I don't think that. I don't think they're built to come back from a 3-1 series deficit. I mean, I just don't think it's going to happen. Phoenix, this is your year to go to the conference, to go to the finals. Get Chris Paul that.
Get Chris Paul that ring.
Get Chris Paul that ring at this
Come
point.
on, man. Come on. He deserves it. If any player in the league deserves it, it's him and like Melo.
Who doesn't have one yet.
Yeah, him and Melo are like at the top of the list for me, Maybe Jimmy Buckets in a few years. But yeah, definitely.
Well, didn't he win one with the Bulls?
When?
In like 2000.
No, the Bulls have not won a ring since Jordan.
No, they didn't win it. Yeah, they were in it.
No, they were not in it. The only time he's been in it was like really in it.
I thought in like 2011.
No.
That was the Heat.
They went to conference against the Heat. I
was thinking he was on the Heat because he's
on.
on.
No, but he was on the Heat last year. That's the farthest he's been, and yeah, it's just, oh man, that would have been crazy if he won last year. If he beat LeBron and AD, and he brought Miami another championship, that would have been nuts. But,
okay, moving on.
I'm just saying. But you didn't finish. So you're saying Phoenix in 6 or 7?
Phoenix in 7.
You thought you'd avoid the question, Josh.
I'll give LA some credit. I think they might win this game. Phoenix in 7, though. I don't think they're going to lose it on Game 7 in their home court.
Honestly, screw it. I think it'd be really funny if they lost if the Clippers had that false hope, like the Islanders, which we'll get to, and just lose in 7. Because, again, just like the Islanders, I feel like there's something about home, even though they have one of the worst records in the playoffs at home. I feel like they're just not going to feel like losing at home when they're this far. This is the farthest they've ever gone in the playoffs. I feel like they're not going to let themselves lose at home. But I think they'll just delay the inevitable and just lose in Game 7. So I'm going to agree with you. I think Phoenix in 7. But I would not be surprised to close it out tonight. I mean, damn, this team is so good. This team could win it all, man. Especially what's going on with the East, because between the Milwaukee Bucks and Atlanta Hawks, they lost Trae Young and Giannis. Like, what the hell? We've been deprived in every single team left of their star. Chris Paul, Kawhi, Trae, and Giannis. Like, it's like the year of injuries. Like, what's going on? What the hell is going on? Are they playing too much? Are they going too hard at the basket? Like, what's happening here? You can't load manage in the playoffs. Like, what's going on? I don't know what to say here except for the fact that, Lou Williams has been a godsend on that trade right now, because if not for him, this team is not past the second round. I hear you, man. That dude.
It's not a thing. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, imagine they didn't do that and they just stuck with Rondo. Yeah. That'd be so funny. Because Rondo's doing nothing with the Clips now, as far as I know. So, yeah. But yeah, just to recap the series, Game 1, very close. The Hawks won, but it was very close. Trae Young went off 48 points in Game 1. Just a testament to his greatness, and it makes the loss in the first round a lot easier when you just realize he's a great player and he's hot. He's like becoming the Jamal Murray of last year, like this year, except we already knew he'd be that good. Like, he's not slept on like Jamal Murray. So, Game 2, this one was really funny, Josh. The Bucks.
Didn't they beat him by
They beat him by 34. 34 points. And you know how much Trae scored that game? 50. How do you like it, Trae Young?
You sound like True right now with his laugh when he's like,
it's a good, don't worry. I'm going to laugh one more time when we get to I promise you. But this laugh makes you feel so much better. Oh my God. Oh, dude, you talking about Lou Williams trade working out. Talk about PJ Tucker and Drew Holiday working out. Those defensive stalwarts who could put in a bucket at clutch moments. Like, oh my God. I know it's tied, but damn, doesn't feel like it's tied. And I'm not gonna lie, we'll get to Game 4 in a second, but Giannis himself had a clinic, 25, 6 and 9. Like, it's not bad at all. Drew Holiday, 22. You know, Chris Middleton.
Might we mention they
Yeah.
blew a 15-point lead also.
Who?
The Hawks.
In game, which game?
3.
Game 3, right. That's true.
Yeah, they were
No, they had the lead for a while, and then they just and then it was very close. And they had the lead. Then the Bucks made it close, and then like the last 2 minutes, they just blew it out, and they won.
Yeah,
like
it's perfect way to collapse.
Yeah, Giannis.
Now, to be fair, Trae Young did get hurt in the second half midway.
Right.
He played, but he clearly was not 100%.
Right,
So,
but yeah, this is interesting. He was hurt. He scored 35 in 40 minutes.
Yeah, that was still crazy.
Which is just insane because he was playing hurt and he was out the next game. And then Giannis and Chris, oh my God. Giannis had 33, 4 assists, 11 rebounds. And then Chris had 38 points, 7 assists, and also 11 rebounds. You know, like that's nuts. That's nuts.
And I didn't get to see the game in full last night because I was flipping between that game and the Mets game, which we'll get to in baseball eventually when we do our short little recap there. But a stat that was going into game 3 of the series is that the Bucks are undefeated. The Bucks have never lost a game in the postseason in which Giannis has attempted 10 or more free throws. Not made, attempted. There's a huge difference because he's not an amazing free throw shooter.
Yeah,
and
he
started the series like 9 for 12. And he was so bad in game 3 at the very beginning. Through his first 4, he was like 0 for 4 or something like that. No, through his first like 7, he was like 2 for 7 or 3 for 7 or something like that. And then but he was racking up attempts, and eventually that ended up letting Milwaukee, cruise ahead by a point or two. And then eventually they just put it away with their outside shooting at the end of the fourth quarter. Chris Middleton went off, Drew Holiday went off, and where would we be if we mentioned the fact that Brook Lopez was an absolute wall in the paint?
He's a beast. Dude, what a pickup, like, by the Bucks. I think when they got him, I don't know, they signed him like 2 years ago, I think. And that was before, like this team was more of the same. But that was before they got Drew and PJ and everything. So this is a great team to root for. Like, if we're lucky, we'll get a Bucks versus Suns matchup. It will just be amazing. It will be the new blood in Giannis versus like the old guard of Chris Paul. Like, I would love that.
Can you imagine Lou Williams going against Chris Paul also though? Like the former.
Yeah, but would they though? Because he's a small forward, isn't he? Like,
Lou Williams?
No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of someone else. Sorry, my bad. But Lou isn't a straight up 1, is he?
I think he is.
I thought he's a.
I mean, either way, imagine if the Hawks.
He's both. I was right.
Still isn't back, and that leaves.
Yeah. I'm saying he'd be taking him or Booker, but yeah, that's true. Like, it'd be hard for anyone. It'd be hard for anyone.
Other than that, I mean, like
but the difference is that's not what I meant. I didn't mean small forward. I meant like he's gonna be on the bench, so he's not gonna be taking him like as much as.
If Young isn't back and the Hawks win this series, he sure will.
That's true. That's right. That's a good point. Do you think we're getting these guys back? I mean, I didn't think Chris Paul or Kawhi were guaranteed, but Chris Paul came back. So do you think Kawhi's coming back? You think Giannis is coming back? You think Trae's coming? Like, what do you think?
I think Giannis has been ruled. Not Giannis. I think Kawhi's been ruled out for the rest of the series. I think. I don't know if that. I don't know. I don't remember the source. I heard it. I think it.
I'm gonna check that, but
I think it was on the Fan, or at least that it was very likely that would be the case, that he wouldn't be back. Not that he officially wouldn't be back, but if you could confirm that and if you could update, that would be amazing.
I'm checking, and it says
Giannis is a little too early to tell. I think Trae Young will probably be back. It was just in their best interest to not overwork him because they clearly must not have liked what they saw in the last couple minutes of Game 3 with him on, physically on the court. So I would assume, they get a day off today. They'll be traveling to Milwaukee, obviously, but then tomorrow, they're ready to go and game is late. He has all day to rest up. I'm sure that he'll probably see sometime tomorrow. He's the most confident I could say that I could see coming back.
So to answer your question, Kawhi's not playing tonight. By the way, this is a breaking news title. I don't know if I'm going to share it or not, unless you want to see it, but says he's reportedly unhappy with medical staff. And I don't know if you're getting a sense of deja vu, Josh, but this has happened before. I don't know if you recall. This specific player was upset about this specific issue no less than, what was it, 2 years ago in San Antonio, which basically caused the whole problem in San Antonio, making him force a trade to Toronto, winning the ship, then heading to LA. So I don't know. I mean, if this is, I mean, this could just be a rumor. I don't know. It says by Fox News. Like, I don't know. Like, you never know with how many sources are reputable because they're quoting Skip Bayless and stuff. So, if you believe in Skip, then it's true. And he's by the way, I don't know if you know this. He if he wants to, he could be a UFA this season. So besides our obvious need a point guard, our other biggest need is a wing, a small forward, and Kawhi is at the top of that list. So if this is true, do you think he takes a flyer on New York?
Definitely not. But hey, whatever. Like that's me thinking.
Shit.
That's me thinking realistically. Like as a fan, I'll be
not happy.
Yeah, they have
happy.
money.
Hold on. If he's not happy, he's not staying. So where would you think he'd go? Just tell me that. What other team? Where would he go? Just tell me. I need to know. I need to know in your mind because why would he stay if he's not happy? So where does he go? Just tell me. If it's not New York, I need to at least hear where you think he'd go because I'm sorry, I don't see anywhere else.
Oh man, I hate to say it, but Golden State.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Bro, I would be so mad if that happened. Like if Clay's healthy, it'd be Curry. It'd be Curry, Clay, Kawhi, Draymond, and if he's at full health, James Wiseman. I would die.
Okay, let's.
Why did you say that, Josh? Why?
I told you what I thought. Like you don't ask me for that.
No, you're right. I pushed you. Okay, that's on me. Anyway, just to get back to what we were talking about with the Bucks. Like, yeah, it was just game 3, Trae blew him out of water when he was hurt, and then game 4, the Bucks won, but the Bucks won, but Trae had a good game. But in game 4,
they returned the favor. I know Giannis.
They returned the favor. They beat them by 88-110. That's
It's a 22-point game.
22. So it's not the same thing as 34. Sorry, it's just not. It's not the same.
Well, look, I'm not upset.
That's not great. No, I'm saying that's really bad.
When you win a game after losing by 34, when you lose a game by 34 and then win.
Yeah, but it wasn't after though. That was game 2 and this is game 4, so it wasn't directly after. It wasn't like, oh, that's how you respond because game 2 was so much
when
easier.
You rebound, look, after a tough game 3 loss, which they blew it, they just flat out blew it. They were in control of that game.
Listen, there was no clear like super scorer on either side. No one even only one person got 20, and that was Lou Williams. So, yeah, props to him, obviously.
Cam Reddish, by the way, fantastic last night, by the way. He was amazing in what was really like his first full appearance back in the NBA.
I mean, yeah, it's significant because, he was out, like, until this point. So, and, you need more players available, especially because Lou has to come in the starting role because Trae's out. So now you need more people to step up. And Cam said – give it to me, man. So yeah, they blew it out of the water. And okay, that's the final question. Where do you see the series going, Josh? Who do you think's gonna win? I mean, especially now that Kawhi and Giannis are out. Not Kawhi.
Yeah.
Kawhi too, but Trae. But like, I'm gonna check out the status before.
I think now I don't know how serious Giannis's injury is as a.
Yeah, I'm checking.
As opposed to Trae Young, who it looks like is feeling a little better, like he might be ready to go for game number 5. I think that the Hawks could steal this series if Giannis doesn't play and Young manages to come back, which is what I'll be betting on when I'll say whatever. The Hawks have already knocked off the number 1 seed. There's no way they can't knock off the Bucks, even though I personally believe the Bucks are a much better team than Philly. I mean, they've been doing it all postseason long. They haven't not once this postseason, and it won't happen even if they get to the finals. Will they have home court advantage? They will have had to start every series on the road, games 1 and 2. And I do want to give them credit to say that they're also, by the way, they're undefeated in games 4 and 5 in the playoffs this postseason.
I don't know if that's like a real stat,
I mean, I don't know, Joe.
But like it's like I guess I'm trying to remember what was game 4 and 5 for them in Philly.
Well, game 4, they tied the series, and game 5, they took the series lead. I don't remember like the scores and everything, but in game 5,
No, I was just asking the
we
series.
know they blew the Knicks out of the water.
No, I know. That's why I'm asking. I'm just trying to understand the Sixers to see if there's a common theme here. Because Knicks, it was already, up 3-1. So, right, game 4, they tied
They
it.
were down 2-1.
Game 4, they tied it. So, like, it's just, I'm saying, like, they can.
Right. They also
I feel like,
look, it was the same thing here, though. If they win game 5 too, watch out for that.
right. So, who do you think has a better shot? The Bucks? Who do you think is a better team? The Bucks without Giannis or the Hawks without Trae Young? I think that's
obviously I would have to say the Bucks without Giannis, but what I like about Atlanta is they play more a team offense, like a team offensive game, where all of their players really, except for like Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu, are all the same player. They're all shooters. They're all shooters.
Yeah, but that becomes a problem.
Bogdanovich, Herter, Lou Williams, everyone on that team, and even Cam Reddish, obviously, we spoke about him, John Collins, also everyone on that team, like, and the thing is, they pass so well, they share the ball so well that it's tough. Like Nate McMillan said it against the Knicks because they were the toughest defensive matchup they had to play against. He said, why are you guys so effective? And he said they take away your first and second opportunities, but we're able to make them work to get our third and fourth opportunities, and they can't stop it every time. They get too tired chasing you around and trying to shut down your offense. And eventually there's a guy wide open somewhere with an open shot. So credit to them. I'll say it this way. I think that the Hawks are definitely capable of winning this series. And I'm going to have to say, I think Giannis is more of a game breaker, because with Giannis, it's not just that offense. He's a phenomenal defender. With Trae Young, not nearly as good defensively, known way more for his offense, that losing him, obviously offensively, they've proven that, he's the heart and soul of that offense. He is the backbone. He's the runner. But I just don't want to say that losing him gives them that much less a chance defensively. So I'm not really proud of it, but I'm going to say the Hawks are going to probably win this series now.
So I'm going to have to disagree, and I'll tell you why.
I'm just saying, by the way, because I think it's also more likely, I'm factoring the idea that I think Young is more likely to come back earlier than Giannis. And if they get that one game, we know that against each other, they're pretty much even. So
I'm not going to do that. I'm either going to assume they both come back or neither of them come back. I'm not going to pick one over the other. And based on that, that's why I'm making my decision, because I want to be fair. So the reason why I think it's the Bucks, I'll tell you why. The Hawks, while you're right, they have a bit what they have in shooting. They have a lot. What they have in shooting, they lack in defense. They do not play a great, outside of Lou Will, who's phenomenally both ways of the court. They do not have a great defensive team. Yes, they tire out defensive teams well, but that's to players that are not just in a defensive system. Like those are people that are just in a defensive system, but not but not clear two-way players. I'm not trying to discredit the Knicks because they were the best defensive team overall, but none of those guys were pure out two-way players. If we're being like Julius Randle, I guess to a degree, but obviously Reggie Bullock was a defensive guy, but he wasn't an offensive guy as much. He shot, sometimes it wasn't always consistent. Same thing with Elfrid Payton. You know what I'm saying? No one's a two-way player on this Hawks team except for Lou Williams. But the Bucks have.
Well, hold on, Joey. McMillan's turned all of these guys into two-way players.
I'm not saying no. They play a defensive game as well, but they're not they don't equalize their opportunities on defense as much as offense. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying McMillan does a great defense.
They've been doing it all postseason long. I don't know what to tell you.
No, I'm trying. Okay.
I know what you're saying, but right now I'm not thinking about the team on paper. I'm thinking about the team where they are and how they're playing as a team.
I'm talking about the team that's playing now. I'm saying the team that's playing now, right? Lou Will, he's a great. They're all good. They're all solid defenders, but Lou Will is the real defender on that team. I just don't think they care about defense as much as just shooting. And I think the Bucks have a much more balanced system with guys like Drew Holiday and PJ Tucker and Brook Lopez in their system. And I think that in the end, they can dominate better because they know how to equalize both sides of the ball. That's what I think. there's also the factors of things like this, like they're like tonight, tomorrow, Hawks are playing in Milwaukee, and I'm not gonna lie, like home court advantage does have long standing with me in deciding games. So I would not put it past the Bucks to win at home. And I feel like the same thing could be said about the Hawks. I just don't see it happening. Even whether both come back or neither come back, I can't rule out the fact that they're playing 5 and 7 at home. I just think it's going to go like this. I think it's going to be Bucks and 7. I think it's just going to be whether they come back or not. I think it's just going to be the same result. It's going to be Bucks win game 5, Hawks win game 6, and then Bucks win game 7. I just think losing the heart of your offense, and not just a regular offense, like a super offense, like what Trae Young does on the offensive side of the ball is better than anyone on the court. But when you have equalized offenses, but a sort of like, to me, a little bit of a better defense, I just think the Bucks are going to win it in the end. That's what I say. I agree. Yeah, with that. Yeah, that's what I think. And there's anything else to say, unless you have anything to add. I don't know, but yeah.
Oh, just best team, like the team that's playing.
Listen, the best team wins in 7 games. Sometimes teams upset, the team that, like, not the better team, but the team that wanted it more in less than that. But when it comes to just the actual better team won, that's usually in 7 games. That's my philosophy. So yeah, that's what I would say. If it's earlier, it's just the team wanted it more, but they weren't necessarily the better team. They got hot at the right time or they wanted it more. But in 7 games, the better team won. That's how I see it. So,
hey, look, I'm going to end with this. Sometimes in the playoffs, it's not about being the best. It's about being the hottest team. And right now,
so I'm saying,
the hottest team. That's just the way it is.
No, I'm saying, but if they're really hot, like they're not taking it at 7. Like it's not like they do it earlier is what I'm saying. But the better team, I think, is going to win in 7. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, that's all I got to say. I think I'm ready to move on. You ready to move on, Josh?
Yeah, let's do it. And
So we talk of baseball, and Josh, why don't you just take it away?
Yeah, I'll start it up. I've got 3 things really quick. Obviously, I got to start off with the Mets. Comeback win last night. They snapped a 2-game losing streak. They're down 3-0 to Charlie Morton, who was pitching another amazing game against them for the second time in a week. They played last Tuesday at Citi Field. I was at that game. They lost that game 3-0 on a 3-run home run from Dansby Swanson. And last night, it looked like it was going to have the exact same ending when Ozzie Albies hit a 3-run home run against Tyler McGill, who was making his second major league start. By the way, on a better pace, he went 1 out farther, gave up the 3-run shot, and it wasn't looking great. But he did have 8 strikeouts. And Joey, I know what you're going to say to this, but on the broadcast, they were talking about it, especially and on MLB Network, especially, they were talking about it. That I don't remember the umpire who was behind the plate, but he was having a tough time with both teams calling strikes and balls. That it eventually got to that 3-run home run from Ozzie Albies because the umpire missed 2 very, very terrible calls where he called 2 pitches that were right down the middle strikes to Ronald Acuna, who took both, by the way. And when he walked, the 4th one was ball. Sorry, the 4th one was a legitimate ball, but the first 2, he then proceeded to foul off. He took a couple pitches. He worked a crazy at bat, but bottom line was he was shocked to realize he was going to first base despite taking the those 2 pitches in between. Anyway, come back though. Top 7. James McCann hits a game-tying 3-run home run. Morton's day ends after that, and AJ Minter comes in. Jose Peraza pinch hits a ground rule double, and then Francisco Lindor, after Jeff McNeil strikes out on a pitch in the dirt, which he was clearly pissed off about, slammed his bat in frustration. Lindor comes up batting from the right side as a switch hitter against the lefty, and he's been swinging the bat really well from the right side. And in his last 5 games, he had the clutch hit against the Phillies in the first game of the doubleheader, where he drove in the game-tying run with 1 out left, potentially in the game. In the game after, he had an RBI on Wednesday night, not Wednesday night. On Monday night when they played a makeup game against Washington. He had a couple hits from the right side against the bullpen, and he had the RBI single, which brought him Peraza and gave the Mets a 4-3 lead, which ultimately ended up being the game-winning RBI. Edwin Diaz came in the bottom of the 9th, and Edhier Adrianza led off and hit a towering fly ball. I don't know if you saw it, Joey, but it was nutty. I thought the game was tied. He hadn't given up a run or a hit, for that matter, against the Braves yet this season. And this was his 4th attempt or his fifth attempt, or his fifth appearance against them, or fourth appearance against them. He got a 5-out save the last time. That was on Wednesday night. And this ball just hooked foul. It was literally foul by about a seat and a half. And they reviewed it just to make sure, but whatever. In the end, he ended up, I believe, flying out, and Sandoval straight fly out, and then Acuna popped out to end the game. So 1-2-3 for him. He continues to pitch well, 16 for 17 in save opportunities. And other than that, the other two things. Anyway, Mets get a 4-3 win. The other two things to talk about: Kyle Schwarber homered again. He is absolutely on fire. He's got like 11 home runs in his last like 9 or 10 games. He's got like 25 on the season now, and that's within the top 3, I believe. I think he's right behind Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who has 26. And the other guy we're going to talk about, as you know, and I'm sure you want to mention the Yankees last night, but can we at least talk about the fact that
I was going to bring it up. I'm bringing it up, but yeah, Shohei Ohtani, holy shit, that was
2 home runs. And
that
by
was
the way,
hey, we won. Was it? Give credit, bro. That was a sexy home run. That was a sexy home run. It was beautiful.
But when Shohei Ohtani hits 2 home runs that are nowhere near the strikes, he like fought off, like, for crying out loud. It was in on his hands, and he still hit it into what, the second, like one in the second deck and like one like 10 rows back in the right field bleachers. I mean, give me a break. If he isn't if he's not like.
Listen, he's my pick for AL MVP, so that's what I'm going to say.
He should. I know that he was nowhere near my radar. Obviously, like Mike Trout was the obvious pick. And then he got injured. He was off to a great start, but he got injured. But Shohei Ohtani right now better be the front runner. Guerrero's having a ridiculous year. Don't get me wrong.
No disrespect to Guerrero, but I'm giving it
and
he's
pitching too. He's pitching in these games that he's hitting. He made MLB history. He was the first player to pitch in a game and bat in that same game.
Yeah, no disrespect to Guerrero, but I'm giving it to Ohtani. And you talk about Acuna in the NAL. No, I love Tatis, but I'm giving it to Acuna at this point.
Yeah,
obviously that could change. I could change, but the dude just eclipsed 100 home runs in less than 3 seasons. So, dude's
this is only his second full season.
That's what I'm saying.
Rookie of the year,
because 2020
played in 70 something games.
No, I was saying 2020 played 60 games. So it's
still hit 22 home runs, but I mean
no, I'm saying that's
a full year.
No, I'm saying he's just phenomenal player to watch. So very good player. Josh, it's a little embarrassing. I forgot to mention 2 things in basketball. I'm gonna just say it really quick. If you have a comment, just tell me. But I just want your quick opinion, just really quick. So we had 2 new coaching hires. The first was Rick Carlisle. He rejoined the Pacers. Right. Yeah. Any thoughts on this? Joining the Pacers,
Yeah, I mean, they were trending in the right direction. They were in the qualifying round. I guess we'll see where it goes. New coaching, new system, different players. Doesn't really have a superstar on this team like he did with Doncic. So yeah, it'll be interesting to watch. Yeah,
and then the other one.
And then the Celtics also, but I don't remember who they hired.
So that's actually the third one, but it's actually it's what's his name? How do I say his name? He was under the Knicks last year, not part of the Knicks. He was one of the guys that the Knicks were considering. He was an assistant to what's it called? I'm trying to remember. San Antonio. He was San Antonio. No, sorry. Yeah, San Antonio, Philly. His name is Ime Udoka. Here, let me show you how to say this name because it's a little hard. No offense to this guy. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Sorry. Here. I don't know how you say this. I don't care. Ime Udoka.
Oh my God! What the heck?
Yeah, I told you, bro. It's worse than it sounds.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
But yeah, what do you think about that hire? Are you surprised it wasn't Rick Carlisle? Because we were talking that would have been sick.
Yeah, Carlisle was probably too much of a pipe dream for the Celtics. But hey, I mean,
yeah.
Because I mean,
and then the last one
is Boston after.
And all. The last one is he's coming home in a way because he was drafted and he came back to the team, won their only championship. Jason Kidd. New coach of the Mavericks, replacing Rick Carlisle. Thoughts on that?
I mean, I mean, yeah, he is coming home, I guess, to that extent. And if I'm a Mavs fan, I mean, I'm excited. We've seen some. I'd be excited. We've seen all over sports where you have a former player who's come in and been a coach for that team or taken a role with that team in some kind of way. Obviously, Rangers fans are dreaming about the fact that Lundqvist might come back and do something. How Dan Girardi might come back and do something.
Yeah, and Giants fans are happy because Manning came back. So
Yeah, Eli Manning and people are. Yeah, I guess like it's not the same idea because it didn't really last. But I guess when Carlos Beltran took a job with the Mets. But I mean, look, clearly, clearly they think they know what they're doing, and I trust the Mavericks. I mean, like, I know that general manager, owner, different things, but I like obviously the owners have to have some kind of say in this, and I don't think Mark Cuban would not. I don't think Mark Cuban would hire someone he didn't think couldn't, potentially lead this team somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot there's one more, and you've heard of this player. When you think about the most underrated teams ever to win the finals, the one that didn't have a true star, 2004 Pistons. They had Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Rip Hamilton, and their point guard, who also was a Knick at one point, part of the Melo trade, Chauncey Billups, new head coach. This is an older one, but of the Trailblazers. Any thoughts on this?
Nope, not much. I mean, maybe they feel coaching changes. I don't know. Maybe they feel it's necessary. I mean, Damian Lillard clearly had something to say about it. But yeah.
Yeah, okay, and that's it.
You're reading it now, aren't you? Okay, whatever.
I mean, we're not going to talk about it, but they're actually kind of, these two coaches, Kidd and Billups, are facing controversy for alleged sexual problems in the past. So
okay, back to baseball. I'm not.
Whatever. All right, we'll just go back to baseball. But yeah. Anyway, so before I get into my Yanks, before I talk about the game, I just want to talk about some news that makes me very happy. We all know, of course, the home run derby this year. We're gonna have an All-Star game this year, Josh. We didn't have one last year.
And I meant sorry, this was the last thing. Thank you for reminding me with the home run derby and everything. That the update that Pete Alonso was invited back, despite a slower start to his season in terms of the home run ball. But he will be competing this year, trying to defend his title because they didn't have.
Bro, he's not gonna win. You want to know who is? Trey Mancini, baby. Let's get Trey Mancini that ring, baby.
That was very hype.
Let's get him, bro. I don't care, bro. Fuck Ohtani and Guerrero. Let's get Mancini the glove. No, but seriously, like, if Trey Mancini wins this thing, I'd actually be like the happiest guy ever. I like this.
Yeah, like
I don't think they have an award for comeback player of the year or whatever, or like they don't have like the Masterson or all that stuff. Like,
I'll obviously be rooting for Pete, but if anyone can't win it, like if Pete can't, like, please win it, Mancini. Like,
I wouldn't mind it, man. A lot, like, I don't give a crap about the Orioles. The only player I really care about on that team is Trey Mancini. Like, I just love Trey Mancini. Like, I honestly expect him not to be in that team the last 2 years, but whatever, he's sticking it there. So, for now, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. Anyway, I'm gonna just talk about the game. Yankees blew the Angels out of the water. It was I think it was 11 to like 5, I think. Like it would have been a lot more, but Ohtani, oh my God, Ohtani. He was so where is it? Let's see. Yeah, Ohtani, let me just pull this up. So yeah, Gary, by the way, I'm not I talk about the team so long, but Gary, I don't give a shit what anyone says. Gary Sanchez is back. Dude is playing phenomenal baseball. I would not be surprised if he gets an all-star votes. I don't know if it's official yet, but he's for sure. Yeah, and then
I don't think he even qualified in the top 3 though.
I don't know, man. I
don't remember, honestly. I don't think he did, but
I think he definitely deserves it, man. He's definitely came back, in my opinion. But yeah, it just Aaron. By the way, even if Gary Sanchez doesn't, Aaron Judge for sure is going to be a starting outfielder for the All-Star game. That's for sure. He's doing a great job too. And then Ohtani just he does a home run. He does a home run, and he cuts the deficit, man. And then the Yankees just go on a crazy like they go what was it 1, 2, 3. They score like 5 runs in 1 inning or something like that. So and then Yohei Ohtani plus the deficit again with another home run, and
dude, that was on his hands, and he still hit it out at like
I'll play it again.
Plus.
Yeah, it was a bullet. It was a bullet, and yeah, it was good. It was good stuff.
I feel like Yankee Stadium is the only stadium that it's physically possible to hit a line drive, like a straight line drive home run, like not like a line drive.
Do it in Coors. You could do it in Coors.
In Coors?
Yeah, you could.
I don't know.
Yes, you could. Yes,
I'm sure it could be done, but I mean, like where? Just like a line drive, like
it could.
Straight, not rising, like Ohtani.
It could be done in Coors. I really believe that. I hate when people always talk about like advantages and stuff. It's not like they play there every single game. They play half the game. Second of all, the other team could do this exact same thing, which Ohtani did. So it's just like whatever. There are hitters' ballparks and there's pitchers' ballparks. I mean, look at Fenway, man. The Green Monster. How's that fair to anyone? That thing, it's ridiculous.
Well, you got to hit the ball high enough. That's the thing.
No, I'm saying like that's just like ridiculous. That like it's not even about distance. Like you could just hit the distance and it won't be a home run. Like it's just like you can hit it as hard as possible, but like if it doesn't have enough air. Like it just. I'm not talking about a line drive, like a real nice high hit, but not high enough. It's just like stupid, just the way it's constructed. Also, like you take away a lot of businesses with the seat. Like you could have so many seats. So many more seats in your state, whatever.
It's iconic though. Like let's
no. That's why I'm saying I get it. That in Wrigley, maybe even Dodger State, like just keep it the way it is. Make renovations and that's it. Like I don't know if there's any other stadiums that are still like full, like the same. Like old.
Yeah, the Orioles have it in right field.
Is the Giant Stadium new or is it the same one?
Oh, Oracle Park. Yeah, they have.
I think I'm saying like those four. Like yeah, just keep them the way they are.
I mean, they've still got that iconic Triples Alley, and they've got the right field, McCovey Cove area.
Right. Oh, it's so funny when like someone hits it just and it goes in the water. Like I'm always like afraid. Like what if that hits like somebody on a boat? Like just like hits. That'd be crazy.
People are out there. Well, what's it called? I actually got to see the insider that people who travel out, who go there and are in the water with their kayaks waiting,
right?
With a radio out there with him to know that.
Oh, so they can get out of the way.
Well, either that or that they could catch
it.
Or
so they can't get a flat. Do they like jump off the kayak and they start swimming for a ball?
Like imagine like either way.
Imagine like two guys on a kayak like fighting each other in the water for a ball. Man, that'd be.
I think it's happened before. I'm not sure.
It's possible. I don't think they show it though, but yeah. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's all I gotta say. I think. Oh no, there was one more thing I wanted to point out. I don't think we covered it, but you let me know if we covered it. No, did I talk about Jake Bauers to the Mariners?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so never mind. So I think that's it. Let me just take a quick look. Oh, no, that's not what it was. That's not what it was. That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what I'm going to say? Do you know what I was going to say? Do you want to guess?
Is it the fact that Wander Franco made his MLB debut?
No, we already talked about that.
No,
it was a trade, but it wasn't that one.
Well,
I messed
Franco
up.
made his MLB debut last week. After.
No, but we talked about that. We haven't
had an episode since he came out.
No, we talked about how he was getting.
How he was getting called up, and not about his actual debut, bro.
Yeah, all right, you want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. He doesn't disappoint. He's still very young, but he doesn't disappoint. And I don't know what else. Do you want whatever? Yeah, what?
I mean, his first major league hit was a home run. Enough said.
No, I'm saying like he did not disappoint. That's what I'm saying.
Moving on.
Yeah. Anyway, by the way, I was not going to show this, but during the Yankee game, Dylan Bundy threw up. That's like the third player in like 2 years to just throw up on the mound. I'm just like, what are these guys doing? Like, are they poisoned? Like, are they eating too much? Like, Major League Baseball, that's what they got to care about. Like the health of their players. Like, this is crazy. Anyway, this is what I want to talk about. I just wanted your thoughts on this. The Blue Jays, man. The Blue Jays traded for Corey Dickerson, and they gave the Marlins Joe Panic. Thoughts on this? I mean,
thank God Dickerson's out of the division because he seems to be the only Marlin who consistently just rapes the Mets. And I mean, Panic's a former Met. He's a pesky
hitter. Give Chisholm some time, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they have any intention of moving or not playing Chisholm. He's clearly been – I mean, I'll tell you this. I voted for him in the All-Star game.
No, he deserves that. He's phenomenal. Oh, my God.
Yeah, but I mean, Panic's a good – if they're looking for depth, then
I mean, he's a great journeyman. Like he could
Paddock can play third also. That is another thing, but I don't know that they want to move Brian Anderson.
Yeah, Brian Anderson. Why would you move Brian Anderson?
Yeah, so I don't know, but it's interesting. I guess we'll see. Maybe they try to get good value for like Panic at the deadline or something. I don't know. Maybe they'll plan on trading him away if he produces. I guess we'll find out. I don't really know.
I mean, he's a good journeyman, so he could give some veteran leadership if anything. And Corey Dickerson, oh my God.
He's got experience, but this Marlins team isn't exactly competing yet.
Yeah,
they're not out of it. They're not completely out of it. No one's completely out of it in the National League East, but they're not closer to the top. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but what I wonder is why would they trade for Corey Dickerson when he's injured, especially when don't they have isn't everyone like they have Springer and Hernandez and
they have Springer, Hernandez, and
Gurriel.
Yeah, Gurriel.
They're all healthy, so why would they trade for Dickerson?
Grichuk. They also have Grichuk, an all-star.
Right, I'm saying why would they trade for someone who's injured if their guys are healthy?
Well, now I think that's more of a depth move. So if they don't need him
right now, okay. I just thought it was interesting because these are two, not big names but notable players in the MLB. So I just thought I should mention it. And yeah, that's all I gotta say for baseball. I'm excited for the All-Star game coming up soon. Trade deadline's coming up soon, so we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Then we got football. And Josh, you don't expect many things to happen, but you can always count on U-Tree to bitch about something bad happening to his team. Where am I going with this? I'll let you know in a second. I just want to phrase this the right way. Okay. So this is the only thing I'm going to talk about. Well, I might talk about something else, but this is this one I want to talk about. So Josh, I've talked to you about how the Steelers have their O-line has gone to shit. Cameron Hayward retired. They let Andrew Villanueva go away in free agency for free, and I forgot who there was a third guy, and then their fourth guy, who I believe was a Pro Bowler, David DeCastro, they let him go. They let him go. Do you believe this, Josh? Now,
do I believe this? If it happened,
Kevin Dotson, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. They released him. But on the bright side, although I don't know if this is really a bright side, they signed Trai Turner. So, do you think it's just like a trade-off, or do you think,
I mean, probably. They clearly weren't happy with Castro, so.
But why would you not be happy with DeCastro? I'm pretty sure he gave up I think 2 sacks the whole. I gotta look this up, but just give me a second. But I think he had.
Because reality hit. They weren't a team that should have started the season 11-0. That's why.
I'm just trying to see 20 position sacks. Okay, but I'm trying to see where it says. I'm trying to think. Okay. I can't find the stat, but I think I believe he was pretty good. I gotta look at the YouTube video, but yeah, he was good for the team as far as I know. But yeah, they got Trai Turner. Any thoughts on that? Hello?
Not really. If you want me to be real honest, I don't care about the Steelers.
Really? Not even after Days of Our Steelers?
No.
No? Okay, and the second thing is, I don't know if you saw this, but there's all this news going around that Tom Brady was talking gave up 2 sacks. He gave up 2 sacks this year. That's why the Steelers fans should be upset. He gave up 2 sacks the whole year. Think about that. Okay? It doesn't bother you?
No?
Okay.
I said I don't care.
No, but it's not about being a Steelers fan.
He's probably going to get paid.
It's crazy that they gave up a guy that gave up 2 sacks on the whole season.
I mean, look, he'll probably get paid somewhere. I don't know what it is, but for some reason they don't want him. I don't know. Maybe it's a cap issue.
What I'm reading from right here, it sounds like it was a cap issue, and they needed to sign other players eventually to an extension like TJ Watt. So, yeah. Okay. And the second thing is, so I don't know if you saw, but Tom Brady, like LeBron James has this barbershop thing. And he said on that, he said on that show, he said when he was doing free agency last year, famously, he said one of the teams he was talking to, he was in serious talks to, they pulled out or he pulled out. And basically, hold on, sorry about that. Hold on. Basically, he said, "Oh, he said you're sticking with that, motherfucker." Like about a quarterback that this team decided to keep. So, Josh, I was wondering, like, do you want to hear who we think that is, or do you have any idea who they might have been thinking about based on what you know about his free agency last year? Or should I just tell you who I think like the options are?
I'm kind of a little lost in who.
But he was doing free agency.
Yeah.
He was talking to a team, and he was before the Buccaneers. This was the team he was the closest to signing with, and either he pulled out or they pulled out at the last minute, and he got mad and he said, "Oh, you're gonna stick with that motherfucker?"
Oh.
So who do you think would be a good team that Tom Brady would go to that was like a quarterback away from contending that he would make that remark?
Probably.
And if you can't think, I'll just tell you who a lot of people think. Like there's a few answers, but yeah.
I want to say for some reason Tennessee.
Okay, so this is the one. This one people don't talk about as much, but that one is very much up there. Any other ones come to mind?
The Philly? I don't know.
No, there's no.
Not Philly. Definitely not Philly.
There's no way.
Maybe
no.
Like. I'm really not sure.
Okay, so I'll tell you. Before, wait, what?
Maybe the Bears.
Okay, so that was another one. So these are the ones that people thought the most. I'm just gonna say all the ones. I don't know if it's gonna create. So the Bears, it was like 4 or 5. The Bears, the Raiders, the Titans, the Rams, and the Chargers. Some say even the Colts.
Okay, right? Yeah, I would never have guessed the Chargers. We did not know that Justin Herbert. Like this is before Justin.
No, but this is before Herbert. This is when Rivers left, right? So people think it's because they'd be sticking with Tyrod Taylor, right? So people think that's why. But I think the Chargers were already out at that point, so they're not an option. The Bears, it could work either way because you know how he feels about Nick Foles. He might feel that way, or he might have respect.
Right.
But the Trubisky, I definitely can hear him talking about Trubisky that way. But I just feel like he wouldn't go with the Bears. I just feel like they weren't constructed as well. And for that same reason, I wouldn't think he'd do the same thing with the Raiders and Carr. So the ones that really make sense to me the most are the Rams, the Titans. And this is a dark horse one because it doesn't exactly make sense, but the 49ers. Because the 49ers were his childhood team. You know, they were West Coast, you know. Jimmy G, who he got traded out of there, like he was the reason, and maybe he resents Jimmy G. But people saying it's not he wouldn't do that because, you know, Jimmy G and him have the
Jimmy
same.
Spent years learning under him.
No, I'm saying like they say like. No, but at that point they'd come off the Super Bowl. So I think to me it's one of two. I think it's like I definitely hear the Bears with Trubisky, but like I don't know why I'd go to the Bears. I just feel like they're not that close to anything. I feel like the two teams. I think this is the realistic one. Especially what we know now. I think it was the Titans, you know, maybe because like maybe he felt like a whole KD. Oh, this is the team that beat me in the playoffs. I want to join them. But no, not just because of that, because they were such a good constructed team. They were pretty well defensively. They were amazing offensively. And yet Tannehill had a career year, but before that he was garbage. And, you know, it might not be because of him. It might have been because, you know, Gase was, you know, Gase. But like it was just he didn't seem like he'd proven himself fully. You know, it might have just been a fluke. And another thing is who's the coach of Tennessee? It's Mike Vrabel, the guy that played with Brady and he won Super Bowls with, right? So I would say it's the tight. Like it's also some people say it's Broncos with Drew Lock. And I'm like, there's no chance he's going to the Broncos. But yeah, I would say that or LA with Goff because you know he beat Goff in the Super Bowl, and we all know Goff. No disrespect to him, he's solid, but he's not like anywhere close to Brady. He's not even like he's not a Rodgers. Here's another one. This is the one I forgot. The Saints with Breeze. And I thought to myself, oh, there's no way he's disrespecting Drew Brees like that, even though he has a noodle arm last year. That was another one people were saying. But yeah, Titans and the Rams, because the Rams, like Jared Goff, especially now that he got traded for Matthew Stafford, you could tell that like the Rams probably were considering Tom Brady. I mean, they already were a complete team and they could have used him. But yeah, who do you think between like those two? But yeah, that's what I think.
I'm going to refrain because I could come up with too much on both sides, so I'm not going to give my input.
But just like with you don't have to say.
Right, let's just leave it at the Titans because no one knew Ryan Tannehill was going to play as well as he did.
No. But this is after that season. This is when they eliminated them from the playoffs. Remember?
Okay, so, then let's say Ryan Tannehill because still Brady lost it. Yeah, Brady lost to him. Way more of the fact that the defense won that game.
That's true, baby. Logan Ryan.
Than the offense did.
Pick 6, last play of the game.
So anyway, with that being said, okay, and obviously like Brady knew Tannehill could get hot for a game or a couple of games playing against him when Brady was with the Pats and Tannehill was not the shittiest quarterback in the world playing for the Dolphins. But either way, like I'm sticking with Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely think it's probably Tennessee, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's the Rams, just given their history, like of wanting to get rid of Goff.
No, I can't say that.
Goff you're telling me why? Why is that so against? The dude's from California. Like, why would it be? The team was so good, and because they traded for Stafford that they wanted to get rid of Goff. You know, why is that crazy?
Look,
but I definitely hear. Like, I don't know if he's ever gonna say it. He might retire, write a book, and say it. Then I don't know. I don't know if he's ever gonna say it. But if he does, it's probably gonna be the Titans. Although I feel like it's the Rams. But yeah, I think it's the Titans too. And dude, could you imagine if Brady went to the Titans instead of the Buccaneers? Him, Derrick Henry, like would they still trade for Julio the next year? Like that's what
I don't know, but
yeah. Maybe. I think they'd probably just wait till he's a free agent and sign him. They'd probably just do the same thing in Tampa Bay. They just sign everyone. They get Gronk and AB and everything. They'd probably do that. But yeah, it'd be sick. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about football. Nothing much to talk about. And now we're getting into hockey. And oh my God, Josh. I'm not going to say the big news first. I just want to get the little things out of the way real quickly. It's 2 things. Actually, it's 4 things, but they're all really quick. So I'm just going to say really quick. You remember last week I talked about Spezza being the first free agent to be signed because, once a team's eliminated, you can re-sign your free agents,
Right. Well, I know one of them who you're going to talk about, and it's probably as shocking to you as it was to me.
Which team, if I may ask?
The guy who won 2 awards last night's team.
Yeah, I mean that one last because it pisses me off the most. But yeah, I was talking about Jason Spezza to just go to to
some lower caliber players.
Yeah, okay. I'm saying to lead to lead into his teammate, veteran teammate Wayne Simmons. Wayne Simmons got extended 2-year, $1.8 million. Thoughts, Josh? This is a good move for the Leafs.
$900,000 a season, good value for a guy like Simmons who's nowhere near the player he was before. Still veteran experience. Playoff experience for a team that's not going past the first round. I like it.
Breaking news, Alex Killorn out for game 2 of the final, Josh.
This I knew, and I was actually going to share that later when we got into the preview, but it's one less thing I have
whatever, I just saw it, so whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
But yeah, okay, the other one, sorry, someone keeps calling me. Next one is Jason Megna, Josh. Jason Megna re-signing with the Avs. Thoughts on this contract, Josh?
I mean, let's be realistic.
League minimum 2-way contract. That means the AHL he could be dumped if he's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, the Avalanche don't really need Jason Megna to win a Stanley Cup or to get to the playoffs. So sometimes just having another body helps. And with all due respect, I mean, Jason Megna is going to play more NHL games than you and I combined, but he's no Nathan McKinnon. Let's just say that.
Yeah, and then 3 more things. So, as you know,
we wish him the best. Let's just
what? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hope he gets sent down to the AHL.
Yeah, so we all know the Sabres had a shit season. Let's not sugarcoat it. It was terrible. And Josh, what would you have liked what would you do if I told you that they signed Rick Tocchet as a head coach? What would you do?
Well, I know they didn't sign Rick Tocchet as their head
No,
coach.
they didn't do that. That would have been the smart thing, wouldn't it? Or Torts or Babcock.
Okay,
No,
I know they didn't sign Rick Tocchet as their head coach.
No,
Okay,
they re-signed Don Granato. They kept him.
I would have shot you, is what I would have.
Bro, they could have done so many
Obviously,
things.
I wouldn't have, but like Rick Tocchet is not wasting his time signing with the Sabres. Okay.
Hey, don't do that, bro. He was in Arizona, who weren't that much better. I mean, they were a playoff kind of caliber team, but don't. But like,
dude, Rick Tocchet, dude. The Coyotes were a fringe playoff team. The Sabres are a dumpster fire.
No, but I'm saying I think they were a
massive difference.
No, I'm saying I think they were a fringe playoff team because of Rick Tocchet. I think Rick Tocchet got the most out of it.
Either way,
fair enough.
They were
okay. Fine, but they could have gotten. They could have gotten. They could have gotten.
Arizona had promising youth.
Sure.
Keller, Garland, Fisher, Stepan was playing well. No, okay, not as young. Ekman-Larsson, obviously not. Promising goaltending. And they also had guys who were there a little bit, like Dvorak, and also like Jake Chikrin, and also like Nick Hjalmarsson, like Jason Demers. They had some promising pieces. What they didn't have was a true superstar. And then they brought in Taylor Hall, and we all know how that ended. So.
Bro, the curse is real, bro. It's real. By the way, just very quick tangent. I just saw this on NFL. The Saints made Ryan Ramczyk the highest paid right tackle. Any thoughts, Josh? 5-year, $90 million? Oh my God. Any thoughts? Sorry to take your mind off. Just quick analysis.
The Saints better win, because if they don't, they're going to be like the Yankees of football, spending all this money, being over the cap, and not getting anything for like the last decade. So, yeah.
Bro, but like,
and think about it.
They don't even have a quarterback.
2009. Last Saints Super Bowl, 2010, I think, or 2009. It was one of the two. They won around the same year. They've spent millions, if not billions of dollars, very close to at least, and so close only to not win.
Yeah, but their quarterback, but they don't have a quarterback. Like, they don't.
Right, now they don't, but they had. I mean, okay, whatever. I'm not getting into it anymore. Just the fact that.
All right, whatever. But yeah.
Right. So, I mean, they're not trash. They're a good team, and they, like, waste a spot.
Yeah, but honestly, like, lost opportunity for the Sabres, man. They could have got Claude Julien, Bruce Boudreau, Bob Hartley, Patrick Waugh, maybe even Babcock or Torts if they're crazy. Like, Now, they're not the only team that made a hire, Josh. The newest team in the NHL, the Seattle Kraken. They did not get Rick Tocchet either, although I thought they were. They hired a former head coach in Dave Haxtell. Now, I don't know if you remember him, but he was Philly's head coach.
Yeah, I do know.
I believe.
This guy is. I'm
trying to remember when it was.
He's a clown.
What do you say?
He's a clown, just flat out. Thinking he had such great teams in Philly with Giroux and you know.
Yeah, he had good players, man. He had good players, not good teams.
I just want to say, like, and the guy was his assistant coach, but he looks a little like Noblock. Like, could we?
By the way, I actually thought I had the similar thought as you. He does look a lot like him. It's kind of creepy, especially because if you remember,
they were both coaches on the same team like 3 years ago.
No, I mean that too, but I was gonna say how Knobloch, when he came to replace Quinn, one of the games was against the Flyers.
Yeah.
9-0. I think that was that game. But yeah, do you think this is a good hire do you think this is the right hire or?
He has playoff experience and he has experience with shitty teams. So I'm sure.
Yeah, but what if Seattle's not a shitty team? What if they pull a Vegas and just rob everyone?
Look, it could have been a lot better and it could have been a lot worse.
Talk it towards.
Right. It could have been a lot better and it also could have been a lot worse.
How much worse could it have gotten besides like Granato? How much
You
worse
want
could
me
it?
to, you want me to be real honest?
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah.
Like, no offense to this guy, but they could have hired like Patrick Sharp to coach this team.
Why the fuck would Patrick Sharp go into coaching?
Exactly my point. Like, the guy talks and speaks analytics like no tomorrow. He, like, honestly, it won't.
No, he was. People forget he was He was crappy his first year. He eventually he got he learned under experience and he became actually eventually a good analyst. But like, why would he leave? He's at the top of his game.
Right. Like, I don't think they could have. Look, they could have.
I mean, yeah. You obviously you could get worse.
They could have hired David Quinn. That's how it could have gotten much worse.
No, bro, he's good at developing.
I told you. You want to know it could get much worse? They could have.
No, but you're right. Obviously, if you pick a player, who has no experience, they could have picked Messier or Gretzky.
Okay.
Whatever. All right. Yeah, but yeah, whatever. Moving on.
Break the heart and move on to the.
Moving on to the dagger. The dagger. Josh, last year I said I wanted this guy when he didn't have a full contract, and this year he was a UFA, and fuck, he did not leave. He loves it there. He said he loves the fan base. Ryan Newton-Object, 8-year extension, 8-year UFA. Okay. I'm so mad.
You were so hard right there.
What?
The way you let that out. Anyway.
Come on, Josh. You're telling me
5.1.
You're telling me you did not want to go after this guy? I wanted him so bad.
You're right. We should just not sign Mika Zibanejad. You're absolutely right. We should just waste 5.5.
We could have signed both, Josh. We could have. I'm not saying we pay this fucker 8 years, $41 million, but we give him a good deal.
Yeah. Okay. Look, Joey.
That's crazy.
He had a great season, so we can't deny that. What I can deny is the fact, though, that I don't know if it's really. I mean, like, he had a great season, but is it worth wanting to pay him for 8 years?
Dude,
that's what I'm personally looking at. Dude, don't forget, like, I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl are locked up long term right now, so they have those three around. But between the three of those guys, it's I think over 30 million. No, over 20 million. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Nugent-Hopkins are all making combined like 24 million together.
Well, you know what that means, Josh? That means they're gonna say goodbye to Tyson Barrie and Adam Larson because
they're gonna have to, yeah. And
there's no way in hell they're signing
especially I'm sure because it's the Oilers and they're gonna want to lock up Yamamoto, I'm sure, and I'm sure they're gonna want to keep Darnell Nurse around. I'm sure they're gonna want to keep Cassian around, and we all know that they are probably winning a draft lottery soon because that's just the luck of the Oilers. And with that,
if they win another draft lottery, there's gonna be riots in the streets. I can't. That's gonna be like the fifth one in like 15 years. I will lose it.
Look at the last, like, if you look at the last like 5 or 6 draft years, by the way, like back to like 2015, right? So many teams have gotten like top 3 picks either back-to-back times or twice within like a 3-year span. Like the Buffalo Sabres just got like their third like top 3 overall pick in the last 5 years. They got Eichel, then they got Dahlin. Now they're going to get another one this year. The Rangers got Kakko and Lafreniere back-to-back. The Devils got Heischer and Hughes in 2 out of 3 years. Like it's just the Oilers because McDavid was the first overall. But that was their 4th time in 5 years picking first overall. Like, come on.
Yeah, and the one time they didn't get the lottery, Josh, they got fucking Draisaitl at 3.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to. That doesn't include, by the way. I said 3. They got but they just happened to get Leon Draisaitl the one year they didn't pick first overall.
Oh, no way. It was 2 years, and I think the other year was Darnell Nurse. But still, that's
whatever. Give me a break. Leon Draisaitl is probably like the 3rd best offenseman in the NHL.
He won the Hart last year. He won the fucking trophy.
He's the third best, like third best talented offenseman in the NHL right now. That's just the way I see it. I don't know how else to put it. I really don't. Like,
I don't know, man.
Okay.
You got
Don't
Ovi
worry. They
and
only
Kane
got
and
this guy's
Panarin
name on
and
Dry
Stone, but yeah,
Side.
I hear you. I hear you.
He might be like, a top 5 offenseman in the game, but we're not sure about it because they have this guy named McDavid who they just happened to draft like 2 years later. Give me a break, Edmonton.
Honestly, I can't. Edmonton should just be exempt from the lottery. Like, like if a team gets that many first overalls, they should just be exempt for 10 years. Just 10 years. Like, it doesn't matter how bad you are. Just be exempt. It's so stupid. It's so stupid. But honestly, maybe you can't be as mad at it anymore because the way it works is just like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not like they changed the system. It's not like you. No, I'm saying they changed the system now. They changed it.
Hall.
I'm saying it wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen like that now that whoever tanks will get the first overall every year. They're just not doing that anymore. They're sick of the Penguins and the Oilers and the Devils doing that. So they just decided, hey, fuck it, we're gonna give everyone a good shot. So yeah, unfortunately,
I just want to say though, I do that I am so happy that what's it called? I lost my train of thought. It was a losing thing.
That
oh my gosh, it was an Edmonton related thing. Oh my god.
They lost to
no.
They lost to who the hell did they play? They lost to the Jets.
No, it had nothing to do with this past year. It was like one of their draft lotteries.
Oh,
I feel bad for McDavid and Draisaitl, and even Nugent Hopkins to some extent. Let's just.
Well, how bad can you feel, bro? At least they're not Yakupov.
Right. Now I remember what I was gonna say. I'm so damn happy though that they missed on the first, in those 2-year breaks, not getting first overall, because otherwise,
they would have had McKinnon and Ekblad.
Exactly. And those are now Ekblad's blossomed into this all-star caliber defenseman. And I mean, McKinnon. Let's just leave it at that. The guy who, by the way, is behind McDavid and between Draisaitl just happens to be the other guy we just said, McKinnon. So either way, but yeah, I mean, it can't get much worse. Anyway, let's move on. Congrats, Ryan.
Yeah,
you earned it. He had a great year. If they have to go by this year, he had a great year. But 8 years is a little much.
Dude, listen, I respect trying to lock up your guys. 8 years. 8 fucking years.
I can't wait till
the dude was drafted.
Brings out the haters guide to the next season or the off season, whatever, and he starts with
yeah, but it's gonna be like. You know that.
He's like, you are the Edmonton Oilers. You have all the talent on offense in the world, and you cannot win a playoff series. Fuck off, and that's it. That's it.
No. I want.
It's like what he said with the St. Louis Blues. You are the Blues. That's embarrassing enough. Take your first.
No, but I want him to do it like that video where he does a multiple choice. You have Ryan Hopkins. What do? Offer a good deal for 3 years. Offer a little bit of a higher deal for 5 years, or shit your pants out
from your own neck.
Or bend over and take it for 8 years. Which do you do? Oh my God.
We gotta move on.
No, hold on. Let me just finish. I gotta finish my point. Hold on. I just need to say something. Fuck. What I was say? Oh yeah. The dude was drafted 10 years ago. Think about that. It's been 10 years since Ryan Hopkins was drafted. This kind of contract is not good for someone at his age. It's just not. 8 years. That's crazy. He's gonna be what? I'm trying to think how old is this guy? He's 28, I think, or something like that. So he's gonna be 36 when it ends. Like most players outside of Ovi, you could go to Crosby, but don't really blossom huge offensive sparks at that age. They just slow down like crazy. Not everyone's.
We got into the damn awards already.
Okay, fine. All right, you fucker. All right.
I don't know how else to say it. I had to get.
Joey,
I know that you probably want to take your time with one of the
I'm just gonna do rapid fire, and then we'll talk about whichever ones you want to talk about. But I'm just gonna say our boy last, because it's all on the same page. So I'm gonna make it really quick, But yeah, I'm just gonna go from the bottom just to make things quicker. Let me just pull it up, and hold on. Okay. So, McDavid, baby, he wins the Ted Lindsay. By the way, most of these were given away by who was presenting them. Not all of them, obviously. McDavid wins the Ted Lindsay.
By who won it previously.
Yeah, he won it previously. That's a big deal. I thought Crosby was winning it, but whatever, It was weird because he talked to Leon, and Leon talked to him in another award we'll get to in a second. But it was just funny how, like, they were talking, and it was like they never talked before. I don't know which interview happened first, but it seemed like they never –
Nah, this one happened first.
Okay, just because like it sounded weird. It sounded like they were two different universes. Like it didn't seem like they were just talking to each other. But yeah, I don't know. It's not hockey's player, to talk like that.
Right.
For real, the thrill wins the Calder. Big shocker. Big shocker. This is my shock phase. Okay. Fleury, fuck you, Josh. Fleury won the Vezina. You said Vazzy, fuck you.
Okay, whatever.
All right, you don't care.
I was gonna win. I didn't say I wasn't gonna root for Fleury, but
no, but you were so
yeah, no, I was really damn confident, and
no, bro. What Fleury did this year, not just the playoffs, but Fleury did this year was unprecedented, man.
Yeah, no, I had my first big urinating tree moment where I completely just like got screwed over by jinxing.
Dude. All right. Anyway, we got Leon a second time talking to Mickey D, saying congrats, but as if they don't know each other. By the way, I just want to point out.
36 years old, by the way. Might I add. It just happens to be.
I just want to point out McDavid won the Hart for like the third time in what is it? It's been like
5-6 years.
6th, 7th year in the NHL. That's incredible.
Full years, I should say.
Oh, and by the way, he's the second ever in history to win the award unanimously. Like first votes, like how they vote. He's the second unanimous MVP ever. And you know who the first one was? Wayne fucking Gretzky. Okay? Wayne Gretzky.
Some resemblance here.
And now, for some reason, this is at the top. I guess because the Rangers fans are not. I don't know. I usually think the Hart's at the top. I don't give a shit. We all knew this was happening. We were scared it was going to go a different way. But Adam Fox won the Norris Trophy. Fuck yes. Let's go Rangers. Let's go. Woo!
Yeah, I mean, no other way to put it. Joe Micheletti said it best when he said Adam Fox. This was like, a little earlier in the year before Norris talks were starting to hit a guy like Fox. But with him saying the following, which was that, Hedman and Makar and even, guys like Quinn Hughes, who had a fantastic rookie season, and obviously Yossi and Carlson, who have been up there as finalists before. He said, yeah, like all those guys are great physically. They skate well. They play lockdown defense physically, mentally, and skill wise. But Fox, he said, like the minutes, if you look at it, like Hedman was like one of the top minute leaders. He's a physical giant, like either way. But Fox, who's a lot undersized for, if you compare him at least to a guy like Victor Hedman, who's like 6'6", 6'5", something like that. And Fox, who I don't even think is 6 feet tall, uses his brain.
Dude, this guy's hockey IQ is...
I shouldn't say skill. Uses his brain instead of his physique in order to make the plays he does, which allows him to play the minutes he does, which was crazy for brain.
This guy's hockey IQ is unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's phenomenal. But by the way, if you look at any of just the season about players who got clips 50 points, like the Islanders only had Matt Barzal, the Rangers had 5. Okay, 5 players with 50-plus points.
Yeah, look, they were an offensive powerhouse.
Obviously, Panarin, Zibanejad, Strome, and Buchnevich, right? But they had only one.
Adam Fox.
And that was Adam freaking Fox, man. Sorry, I when I say 50, I mean close to 50. Sorry about that. Very very close. He had 47 points. This is the crazy part. He was second in assists. I'm pretty sure second in assists, and like sixth. First,
like 7th overall in points.
First in points and 7th overall in points for the whole league. The whole league. He was top 10 points in the whole league. If that doesn't deserve this award, I don't know what does. Because, yeah, ice time is great, but a lot of players could do ice time. Doesn't mean that they're, like, as skilled as you think they are. This dude was phenomenal. And, yeah, I know he scored 5 goals, but they were some damn good ones. He had that sick one on the power play where he skated to the right. And then there's obviously my favorite one where he did the coast to coast against the Devils. That was the best goal. Oh my God. And then seeing Leachy You know, the guy that was.
As soon as Leash was the one who was going to present,
yeah, like you knew, but it wasn't just that you knew, but you also just felt like you felt so
damn well deserving of.
You know why? Because the last time a Rangers player won the Norris was Brian Leach. He won it twice. So like, it's just phenomenal. And by the way, I don't know if it said it here, but I read somewhere that like, the year Leach won his first Vezina, Norris was 1991-92. 2 years later, the Rangers won the Stanley Cup. So book it, baby. Rangers 2023 Stanley Cup champions. Let's hit it. No, but like in all seriousness, though, I do want to point out my favorite thing about Adam Fox winning it this year. He is only the second per player, defenseman.
Oh, yeah.
You know where I'm going with this?
I know where you're going with this.
In NHL history, to win the Norris, to win the Norris in his second season in the NHL. Josh, the other person is Bobby Orr.
Might be the best defenseman.
It's the best defenseman of all time.
I'm not sure. This guy, his name is Bobby Orr.
I'm not saying he's Bobby Orr, but holy shit.
He might be the best defenseman in NHL history. Only maybe.
No, he is the best. I mean, the only person I put above him.
He's the best.
He's like maybe
how much sarcasm do I have to bring before you get it, Joe?
No, I mean, you could put Ray Bork in that call, but whatever. I hear you. No, Ray Bork?
No.
What about Chris Pronger, Paul
Coffey? Up there. Look, these are all guys who are up there.
Right, but Bobby Orr, obviously, like he is the like.
Dude, he's Bobby Orr. Enough said.
And you know
how much I hate the Bruins.
Bobby Orr.
You know how much I hate the Bruins. I can't.
But like he made the Bruins what they are. Like he started this whole like.
Which is why I will say nothing more. This is the one respectful thing. Like this is the other respectful.
Exactly. Like when the Bruins won.
I show other than Bergeron, this is the only guy I have respect for in this Boston Bruins team.
I kind of respect
team, but like history. Forget about team history.
Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the Bruins didn't beat the Canucks 2011, the last time they would have won was in the 70s with Bobby Orr. That's how big Bobby Orr was to the Bruins. Like, it's insane. Just think about that. A guy in his second season wins the Norris. When everyone thought, no, he'll win down the line. He's that good. Just give it to Hedman because Hedman's he's the guy right now. Fox is the guy. Fox deserved it today, this year, and he proved it on the ice. Look, his stats speak for themselves, man. That's phenomenal. Okay, no disrespect to Hedman or Makar, who was injured. Maybe if he wasn't injured, he'd win it.
Still almost came back.
But like he was in second place. So, but dude, that's amazing. Technically, if Makar did it, he'd be in the same boat as Fox right now, being the second because it's his second season as well. Technically, is that how that worked? Because he was rookie of the year last year, even though he played before, I think. But yeah,
he played in like 5 playoff games.
I'm saying, but like, does that count as? This would still be a second season.
It would, yeah. This would have been.
I'm saying so. It would be the same thing for Makar. But either way, that'd be like good for Makar. But like, it didn't happen, so fuck you, Makar. I don't care. Fox won it, baby. Let's go, dude. How could you not be excited for the future of this team? Honestly, I know all Islanders fans always are just like, bro, we got Pelech and Dobson, bro. They're such a good. Pelech and Pulak, such a good tandem, bro. I'm sorry. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have 2 very solid defenders or one like pretty solid defender and one Norris caliber defender on the same line? You pick an option B every single point in line because Lindgren's a great defender. Fantastic. He's on the level of a Pulak and a Pelech, in my opinion, I think. Maybe not close, but maybe not exactly the same, but he's very close.
Nearing it. He's definitely
he's very close. I would rather have Lindgren and Fox than Pulak and Pelech any day of the week. Any day of the week. Oh my God.
Look, I'd hate to say this to rain on Adam Fox's parade. Obviously, he won the Norris this year, so he was this year. But over the last 2 or 3 years, Ryan Pulak might be the most underrated defenseman in the world. He just might be. But this year, no question, Adam Fox, hands down the better player. It's not a question. But I do want to
No, I'm not trying to disrespect Ryan Pulak. I'm just saying, first of all, underage does not make you the best. That's not how it works. That makes you good.
Oh, okay. Hold up. I'm saying for a guy who should be looked at as one of the better defensemen in the NHL, he really should start to get.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Fox was good from the get-go because you could tell because
Okay, whatever. I'm not getting into a debate. I'm telling you.
I'm just trying to point out. Just think about last year. the dude was like top 5 in rookie voting last year. So like he probably should have been in the top 3. But like I'm just saying, like the dude, no one's sleeping on Adam Fox last year, and no one for sure is sleeping on this year. I'm very excited for the future of this team. I mean, it's very cool. I mean, the dude's from America. You know, not every player on the Rangers is from America. We have Russians. And
he's homegrown. Not homegrown.
He's not just from America, baby. He's from New York. So
not
like,
homegrown, but
I'm saying,
he
but
grew
like,
up a Rangers fan.
That's a good feeling.
He had season tickets as a kid, for crying out loud.
Yeah, he went with his dad and he saw his favorite team play, and he said, "I want to play for this team," and he did. You know, and
they traded him.
And they traded him. He had a great first season. And then second season, he won the Norris, Josh.
Okay. Let's get.
And that's it. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. That's all. We gotta wrap this up because I am wrapping it up. Now we're just talking playoffs. And Josh, okay, so allow me to. Well,
that was fail. Okay.
What I do?
Well, you pulled up like all of your conversations, so.
No. I know. Who cares, bro? It was just for a second. So, like, if China wants to steal my data, go for it. I don't think you're getting much. Anyway, so last time we talked, it was tied on. It was like I think it was tied on both sides. So I'm gonna talk about Montreal Vegas first. Montreal Vegas.
Let's make it quick. Okay.
Yeah, I'll make it quick. I'm
just gonna say this. Vegas deserved to lose this series the way they played in Game 5. End of story. And they lost it. Whatever. It's over. Like I knew I was going to be wrong, but like that, like
no, I'm saying like
enough said. Montreal earned it.
No, I'm saying like I'm just trying to say like again, I think 7-game series show who the better team is, but if it goes earlier, it's just the team that wanted it more, the team that was hot, the team that just was going for it, and I guess the problem was just the team. Vegas had no faith in their goaltending. You know, they kept switching out Fleury with Leonard and stuff like that. And it was weird because Stone was a non-factor. That was really weird. And they were relying I'm not saying you shouldn't rely on your depth players, but they should not be your main scorers. Like Nicholas Waugh, I think was their leading scorer in the series.
Yeah, you don't think he was. And he had 3 points.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. So
or maybe even 2. I don't know. The overtime winner, he had an assist in Game 3.
And I think their next scores were most of them were their defensemen, like Shea Theodore and Martin. Like, so it wasn't. Listen, I don't think they have a super skilled player on Montreal all around, but I'm giving credit, man. That line just works so well up to Foley, Suzuki, and Caulfield. That line, like at least in that round, we'll talk about the Stanley Cup in a second, but that line just did so well, you know. And obviously the fourth line with Armia, Perry, and Stahl was very good as well. So yeah, it was good all around. I mean, also I just gotta say, I wasn't rooting for the Habs, but I got a lot of satisfaction of that Shea Weber clapper. Oh man, every time that dude shoots, oh my god, I'm just like, whoever blocks that, I'm impressed. And if you don't block that, I'm just like, I don't expect you to block that.
Then if you don't block it, it's likely a snipe. So
well, that's what I'm saying. Like it's either a snipe or it's either a sniper. You made one of the best saves. Like that's just how it is. Like I remember Lundqvist did that in 2017 when they were playing the Habs with Weber one time. So yeah, it was just insane. And then on the other side, fuck you, Islanders. You said, we're the best defensive penalty kill team. You didn't give up a penalty kill the whole season, but you gave up on this game.
That's hilarious.
Honestly, fuck you, Islanders. You deserve to lose this game when the one goal you give up is when you're on the power play. Okay?
Yeah, I just want to say, like, I know that we're, like, really hating on them, but give them credit. Without their captain, yeah, I know they traded and they brought in Palmieri and Zajac, but no Anders Lee, no Oliver Wahlstrom, who I can't believe I'm saying this, but actually wasn't dog shit for them down the stretch of the season. Adam Pelech and Ryan Pulock just got burned out. I mean, honestly, it didn't look like they got burned out. Vasilevsky, I honestly just like he
stood on his fucking head.
Yeah,
he stood on his head.
Look, give credit to Matt freaking Martin, who actually did something more than just mash people in this series. He was huge offensively for them. And I mean, look, they won game 4. I told you they were going to win game 4.
No, but
I told you
I'm
they were
trying-
going to win game.
was-
I told you they weren't losing game 6. I told you if they were losing, it was going to be in 7.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not shocked it went to 7 just because of like all the like the feelings that went in their head about winning at home. I just thought even if they're not winning the series, but they're winning at home. Like they're not going out that way when it's their last year. They're just not going to. They're still going to lose, but they're not going to lose game 6. It just wasn't going to happen. You know what I mean? And it went 7 games, and the better team won, and that's what happened.
It's just the way it is. And
Dude,
we
honestly,
talked about
like,
it. We talked about it last time also. But I mean, Ryan Pulock, I know that it didn't end up doing that much, but I mean, he stole a game theoretically. Because we all know if Tampa would have tied that game, they would have won. Like the Islanders had zero momentum. They were short.
No, but also in an earlier game, McDonough had an easy shot. Like if I think it was Pulock doesn't block that, it's series is already over.
That's the game I'm talking about.
I'm saying, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Lightning deserve to win this series.
I'm sorry, Islanders. You're not better than the Lightning. You never were, and
that's just it. But look, I mean, they defied odds. They knocked off the
no, obviously they beat
the Bruins, and they did it without their captain. I'm not going to throw shit at them.
I don't like the whole captain.
But they're not. They're just
okay. But yeah,
it's honestly scary to think. Like, who knows if they would have had Lee and Wallstrom, what would have happened? Like, honestly, I'm not even joking. They were so freaking good defensively that it bothers me. They were this close to getting to the finals. And honestly, if they'd be playing Montreal, they could have a really – I know Montreal's white.
No. If we're going to get to game 1 in a second, but I think whoever was winning that series was going to win the Stanley Cup, if I'm being honest. Just based on game 1.
Look, they went farther than they did last year, theoretically. They only made it to 6 last year. So
wow, what an achievement!
And they did it. I mean, look,
from losing 6 to giving up the first shorthanded goal of your season.
I mean, like, honestly, thank God the Lightning won this series because I would have never heard the end of it from Islanders fans if they would have made it, if not won the Stanley Cup. But honestly, Islanders, like, be proud of the season. I know you expect it to go around farther, and it's a frustrating end, especially with the fact that Nassau Coliseum will not be seeing its final games in the Stanley Cup Finals. But look, like, they're and I hate to say this, but unfortunately I have to, they will very likely be back as a contender next year.
Hey, they might be a contender technically, but sorry, bud, they got a cap problem as much as Tampa, and I know you're probably not going to talk about it. We'll talk about it next week maybe, but they got just as many cap problems as Tampa does. So I don't believe they're going to be exactly the same status. Sorry. I think they're going to regress for sure. And just to answer your question.
As long as they have Trotz, I'm not counting them out. I'm not saying
I'm counting them out, but they're not going to have the same team. And obviously someone on that fourth line is going to be taken by Seattle without a doubt. Someone on that fourth line. Yeah. So that's going to change them immensely. I don't care what anyone says. That fourth line was there. What do you call it?
I honestly think that fourth line is the best fourth line in the NHL.
Like, they were doing what Vegas was doing. They were like winning with their fourth line. That's what they were doing.
I think they're the best fourth line in the NHL. There's not one team. They could go out against any line. It could be the freaking McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen, the Pastrnak, Bergeron, Marchand, which, by the way, they smoked, or Crosby, Gensel, and Malkin, and absolutely just rape you. There is no, like, literally just physically, not even scoring, like physically, they will not let you do anything. They will suffocate you until you die. That is just it. Yeah. And then they take you out. That's why they started.
Yeah, I hear you.
It was always the starting line.
I feel like Montreal could also have a better fourth line technically. You know, I feel like they have definitely Tampa. Oh my God, Ross Colton, Patrick Maroon.
I don't agree. I really, like, maybe scoring wise they do.
No, but also
when they play the Islanders
with Maroon. Maroon's a big guy, and so is Colton. I mean, Johnson not so much, but yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, just to close it out. It's just to close it out. I was just trying to say something, but yeah, like. You lost, baby. That old barn, let's just be honest. That old barn, it was not sustainable. That's why they're moving. So they, like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well,
so, by the way, also just to assume they're going to be like contenders right away next year. Like, people forget Dallas was a very good team last year, and they lost people like Corey Perry and others.
Yeah, look, I don't trust.
And guess what?
I don't trust Rick Bowness though as much as I trust Barry Trotz with a coaching staff. Let's just put it that way. Also, I mean, you're talking about a really weird. Like, this was Dallas's first year back to relevancy. I know they made the playoffs the year before, but it wasn't super, super special. Like, they couldn't score. They couldn't score last year. They were carried by Anton Khudobin, who was playing out of his mind. The Islanders weren't only carried by, Varlamov and Sorokin in the first round. They had really big offensive games against Boston and the Penguins. They had incredible defensive performances all postseason.
Yeah, bro. All those assists by Tristan Jarry, man. Oh my god, bro.
You said it. Tuukka Rask ain't no Tristan Jarry, and they fucked him up big time also. So. Yeah.
I mean, they got to him, eventually.
3 straight games they scored.
But they didn't get to Vasilevsky, baby. They did not.
Anyway, let's move on.
Let's get to Game 1 Stanley Cup Finals, Josh.
And let's just say it simply: the Lightning.
Let's just get this out of the way.
They raped.
The Habs got raped. Okay, they got assaulted. No consensual activity here. They got absolutely destroyed. I'm sorry. Like, if not for like a nice mercy goal by I forgot who it was, it would have been shut out 5-0.
Stamkos. Oh, Sherratt.
Right. By the way, Ben Sherratt, what a hit on who was it? Gord or Goudreau? Oh man, Sherratt was dynamite this game.
I don't know. I don't remember, but I will say Montreal looked dead after that first period.
You know what I think, Josh? I think just like the Islanders, like they're out of gas. I just think that's what it is. I think
if you want my honest opinion, Joey, I don't think the Islanders were out of gas. I just think they got burned on.
They got outclassed. But I do think the Habs are definitely gassed. 100%.
I don't know if they are.
I should say that because they swept they got early rest in both. No, wait.
Yeah, in both of these. The only one they didn't.
Even in Toronto with 7, they got early.
No, because they were playing the Jets, who came off a sweep. So the Jets were more well rested.
No, I'm saying the first round they were the less rested team. And
ever since the Jets series, now they've been the most rested against every opponent they face.
Right. So they should be fine, but they look so like I don't know what's happening.
They look dead. They look other than that first period.
Honestly, I'm not gonna predict the sweep.
Dead.
I'm not predicting.
I hope it's not the case. I'm like Tampa Bay.
Okay, you want to know my biggest issue with Montreal? Why would no offense, I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's healthy. It also makes me just mad about the whole Scheifele ordeal, like especially because he's back. Why put Jake Evans back over Joel Armia? I don't understand.
Yeah. Armia. Armia was hurt. He was in COVID protocol. That's why.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're right. No, but see that I'm saying like that. I think that was a big factor. I think that was a big factor, honestly, having Jake Evans instead of Joel Armia. Like, no disrespect to Jake Evans, good young player.
Armia was on that penalty kill. That was magic. And the Lightning absolutely smashed the Canadians with that. But look for him to be back tonight if he's indeed out of protocol, as the report said.
Honestly,
and look to make an impact.
Honestly, bro, oh my God. What do? Do you have the super team that went 18 million over the cap repeat, or do you have Canada break its drought? Like,
obviously, Canada is not breaking its drought. Not against this super team. Stamkos is back fully healthy. Kucherov is back fully healthy. They've turned back the clock 5-6 years.
Imagine we had Vegas
were in the Cup 2015. Honestly, the only reason they didn't win the Cup when they were over the cap is because the Blackhawks were even more over the cap that year.
No, but by the way, everyone forgets that the Blackhawks were over the cap in 20.
They were over the cap that year. Kane, Taves, Hossa. Enough said.
Honestly,
Line was better than Kucherov. Like, Kucherov hadn't become the superstar he is also at the time.
Honestly, I honestly don't want this to become a thing because I'm afraid other teams are going to do this, and it's just going to be really annoying. Like, I really hope the league just does something about this. Either just like don't make it as hard, like let every team do this without complaints, or just not let people do that at this point. I do think the Lightning, though, were in a unique situation because Kucherov was out the whole year, so technically it doesn't count the cap in the playoffs. So it might not be as bad as I thought. But yeah, like 18 million over. That's crazy, man. That's absolutely insane. Islanders also, I think, we're over the cap. But yeah, it's not just whatever.
No, I think they will be coming in because now Lee's going to be coming back.
I'm saying, but yeah, unless they just let all their.
They put him on IR, so they could not have to use his cap, and they could bring in Palmieri and Zajac. That's what it was.
Yeah, so now it's the final.
Now when he comes back, they're going to have to.
Now it's the final countdown, Josh. You got the underdog, the most
Lightning
underdog
team you could ever imagine. Just Lightning in 5. That's all.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. And by the way, I'm going to agree with you because as much as I think it's probably going to happen, I don't like to decide how the game.
If I'm wrong,
I want at least 5. I want at least a little competition. Like even if the Rangers were playing, I'd want a 5. Although that'd be like scary because then you risk losing. But like you don't want to sweep. It's just so boring.
Look,
Maybe I'd be happy.
And by the way, if Montreal completely proves me wrong and they win in 5, I'm not gonna care. I just want I want this thing over already.
Why do you want it over?
Let me rephrase that. I don't want it over, but it's just like it's so boring, but it's so exciting because the Lightning are the super team that everyone's expecting to win the cup now, even though Montreal's the hottest team at the moment. And the problem being that Tampa Bay's a freaking giant and guaranteed, I guess they were a giant in 2019. They got swept by the Blue Jackets, but that was a Blue Jackets team everyone's forgetting that went all in. They had Panarin, they had Duchesne, Bobrovsky still. This is a Montreal team that's not all in, and they're the severe underdogs. They got Toffoli, and they have Suzuki, and Caulfield's been playing well since he came up. But there's no Panarin player on this team. There's no.
The Lightning have 3 Panarins on.
And Carey Price is good, but he's not Bobrovsky playing in a Vezina caliber year. Let's be realistic here. Weber's a good defenseman, so is Sherratt. But I mean, they really don't have a ton other than that. I mean, Edmondson has playoff experience too. He won a Stanley Cup with the Blues. But either way, you're talking about Savard and Sergachev, Hedman and Chernak, Ruda and whoever, and McDonough, and then might I add
Luke
that
Schenn on the bench.
And
Luke Schenn as your 7th defenseman.
Yeah, Luke Schenn is on the bench. By the way, that's not terrible if he's your last.
By the way, I just want to point out, Josh, if you remember, Mikhail Sergachev was a Habs draft pick, and they traded him for Jonathan Drouin.
And then they're so good offensively that Stamkos and Kucherov don't even play together.
Dude, it's crazy. They have 3 Panarin-like players in Stamkos, Kucherov, and Point. And then on top of that, they just have.
They don't even all play together. That's
crazy. And then they have just amazing contributors in Palat, Killorn, and Cirelli. And obviously they have they have, I think, the best third line in the league by far.
Woodrow, Gord,
Coleman, and
Coleman.
Gord.
Oh, you said I said him before.
Yeah, and then fourth line, I think their fourth line is also really good, man. I feel like Ross Colton is going to become Carter Verhaeghe and just leave. I don't know. Someone.
Maroon's going for the 3-peat.
Tampa.
This is what I have to say. Maroon's going for the 3-peat. He's going to get it. That's all I have.
Tampa, New York, Vegas, they're all losing good players. No matter how you slice it to Seattle, it does not matter. It does not matter. Yeah. I'm gonna say Lightning in 5.
I have to keep saying it, but Lightning in 5, it's over.
Yeah, Lightning in 5. I'm not. I can't give Montreal that much credit. I just can't. Everyone was like, "Oh, I want to say Lightning in 5 to give Montreal." I want to say Lightning in 5, but I think I gave Montreal too much credit after watching the game. That's what people were like.
Look, we'll give them a game.
I'll give them 1.
I'll give them at least 1. But
they're not losing.
I just can't. I can't. It's too unrealistic to see the Lightning lose this series.
I don't
care how hot Montreal is. It's not enough to take out a giant.
I'm predicting they're going to win Game 4 in the Bell Center because they're going to be on the brink of elimination and they're going to have so much pressure and they're going to be at home. It's just going to be we got to at least win.
Hey, look, that's how it was last time they were in the playoffs. It was the 2015 semi-conference finals, but it was in Tampa because Montreal was the higher seed. And what happened? Montreal was down 3-0. They won Game 4. Stayed alive. They also won Game 5, but let's be realistic, it's not happening this year.
Yeah, it's Game 4 and then the Lightning.
And
honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lightning blow Game 4 on purpose just to close it and win it at home. With their.
They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that.
I know they wouldn't do that, but how? But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I'm
not thinking about it because it's clearly not going to happen.
I'm looking forward to Braden Point winning the conference.
If he doesn't win it.
By the way, I really no, Kucherov had more points. I'm
no. Unless Kucherov scores a hat trick in every game and Point goes completely cold turkey this round, then Kucherov.
I'm sorry, man. I get Kucherov has more points, but Braden Point scored
Braden Point deserves it way more. Dude, he scored in 9 straight playoff games.
Yeah, there's no way.
That's near NHL history made.
Dude, it's actually insane. The dude scored. I was hoping he got the Game 7 goal when I read it.
Yeah, I was hoping.
Fuck, it was Gord. But I was still happy, But Oh my God. Did he score? He didn't score in game 1, right?
No.
I don't believe he did. It was Stamkos, Kucherov,
Chernak.
twice. Eric Chernak got a goal.
He had the first goal of the game.
Yeah, I'm saying it was a weird one. And Gord had his second straight. Who was the one that had a cool one that was in the air tipping? I'm trying to remember. You know, like it was in the air and he tipped it in.
I think Coleman.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it was Coleman. That's right. No, Coleman didn't have a goal. Oh,
Coleman didn't have a goal. So Gord. Oh, it might have been Gord.
Yeah, it's probably Gord. I think it was Gord. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, go down. Kucherov had 2.
Oh, sorry.
You're on the Canadians.
Yeah.
Kucherov had 2. I know that. I know Stamkos had one in the end. Yeah, it had to be.
The end. It wasn't Stamkos.
It had to be Gord. It had to be Yanni Gord.
It's Gord. It wasn't Cernak.
Kucherov had 2, unless it was Kucherov on one of them.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Maybe it was Kucherov. No, I think it was. It was Kucherov, I think.
I think it was his first. Yeah.
Double check it. Go to the video. Let's see.
Okay, let's take a look.
It was right there.
Okay, so let's see. Just to see. Okay.
Eric Chernak. No, scroll to Kucherov. Save, yeah. Yanni Gord, yeah. So it wasn't Gord. Gord had a shot that, yeah.
It was the other way. Yeah, it was the other way. Okay.
Yeah, Sherrod. It had to be Kucherov.
Wasn't it going the other? Yeah, it was going this way.
So it was going this way. Yeah, it was. I thought it was.
It was going this way. But is it this one or the second? Oh,
it's that one. He just threw it.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one.
Collected in, you know.
Dude, honestly, this is one of the most beautiful things I ever saw. Oh my God, look at
one of the most beautiful things. I'm sorry, that puck was hit into the net by Ben Sherrod. That's not beautiful. That's as scrappy as they.
I'm saying like in terms of like sarcasm, Josh.
Yeah.
No, if I had to pick the best goal, if I had to pick the best goal in these playoffs, in my opinion, by far, I think it was like points. I forgot which round it was, but
yeah, against the Panthers.
Double deke thing. Oh my God, that was the best goal I saw in the playoffs by far. But yeah, it's Lightning in 5, man. Who are we kidding? Hopefully, Point gets the Conn Smythe. If not, I'm a riot. But yeah, and that's it. That's our show. So yeah.
Yeah, screw it. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe if you tuned in. Obviously, you're a massive trooper. Thank you so much for joining us today on the JJ Sports Podcast. Signing off for the final time today. I'm Josh.
Joey.
Peace.